What's up YouTube? So today I made a very dramatic decision. I sold my kidney. I sold it so I could buy one of these. Okay, that's a little too dramatic. But in today's video guys, we're actually doing a comprehensive unboxing and first impressions of the AirPod Max. That's right, these have been rumored for a long time and we're gonna see what they offer. As always, if you enjoy my content, consider subscribing to my channel. Let's get started. So the AirPod Max retail for exactly $550 USD, which is a hefty price tag nonetheless. But for all intents and purposes, we're going to look at today's video and this product as objectively as possible. So for a moment, I want you to forget the price tag, which I know is hard to do, and just look at the product itself to see what Apple is giving here and who it might be for. So with that in mind, let's get started with the unboxing first. First and foremost, we have the box for the AirPod Max. As you can see, Apple does a great job always of making a minimalist packaging. And over here, you can see the AirPod Max, and this is in the sky blue color variant. I thought that was the most nifty looking color, so I went with that. Once we remove that plastic packaging, which is always so fun, thanks to Apple once again, we'll go ahead and lift the box open. Once the box opens, the first thing you see right away is, of course, the AirPod Max, which are wrapped in what appears to be a broad that was left in the dryer for too long. I'm joking, that's a smart case, and it's also matching the color of the actual Maxes themselves, but we'll come back to that in just a second. Now, looking at the box, you have a couple other things. First and foremost, you do have a quick start guide and the usual compliance, regulatory, and warranty information booklet. There's no Apple sticker, which is becoming a norm for newer Apple products. Moving past that, you of course have a USB-C to Lightning cable. Unfortunately, despite the price tag, you do not get a charging brick. So if you don't already have one, make sure you get one beforehand. Let's start off with the design of the AirPod Max. So the first thing you're gonna notice with these guys is that they're relatively heavy. I mean, they're heavier than the Sony XM4s or the Surface headphones for sure. Another thing worth noting is that this is a very premium feeling and premium looking pair of headphones. So if you look at the exterior side of either ear cup, you'll notice it's made of aluminum. It's cool to the touch. A digital crown and the noise cancellation button is made of the same material. All around, it feels really luxurious, really premium, and that sky blue tint is just gorgeous. On the bottom side of the right ear cup, you'll notice there's the lightning port. This is obviously where you charge it from. There's also an indicator that actually blinks white or orange depending on whether it's charging or it's connecting. So you've got a few things going on, and of course there's a bunch of mics all over either ear cups. So there's a lot of technology packed into either of these ear cups. As we make our way towards the headband, you'll notice right away that either ear cup is actually connected through a steel alloy rod. This rod also serves as the adjustment mechanism to actually control the height of the headband, and I really like it because it's such a smooth experience. There's no clips, there's no plastic components or pieces. It's just a single rod that's controlled through a resistance mechanism. You can easily adjust the height of either side. It just adds to the quality of life experience of the overall headphones. As for the headband itself, it's actually made of a synthetic rubber-like material, which is not uncommon considering this is of course the headband piece and this is where the grip comes from. Where things get unique is the divergence at the top side, where you see this mesh-like material in the center of the headband. Now what makes this really cool is that this is breathable material. So in practice, if you're wearing the AirPod Max for a long period of time, you shouldn't get that excessive warmth you get on the top of your head when you're wearing over-ear headphones that builds up because of the compression. And I haven't tested this out long enough, so I don't want to just give my judgment yet, but as I use this headphone over the coming weeks, I can definitely provide a deep down review of just how effective the mesh fabric is in keeping your head nice and cool. One area where the AirPod Max definitely innovated in terms of design is the fact that the ear cups are super easy to actually adjust or swap out. So for example, check this out. See, it just comes right out. Like there's no complex process. It's just a magnet. But don't worry, the magnet is pretty strong overall. It won't just fall out. So it only comes out when you apply the right amount of force. Also, it's worth noting that the ear cups actually have a sensor towards the inner side. So this is how they know when to stop the music or when to play the music or when you actually have the headphones on. All that functionality is built right in. One thing I absolutely love about Apple and their products in general is the attention to detail. So if you look on the inner side of the ear cups, if you remove the actual cushion, you'll notice right away that even the inner side is a dark blue tint. Like the whole design is consistent. Most other companies would say, okay, this is the inner part, we can just put a generic gray design. Not Apple. Everything is matching with the overall color of the headphones, and this is definitely one thing you do get when you pay the Apple premium tax, is you get a nice level of detail. Now, I'm not saying this justifies the price tag by itself, but it's definitely something worth noting. The final thing I want to talk about in terms of design is the quality of the cushion. Once again, it's fantastic. The cushion is dense, but it's not dense enough to actually apply too much pressure. So when you have these on, for example, like when they're against your ear, you don't feel like they're pushing too hard. They actually feel very soft and gentle. It also seems like the overall material is made of a good quality mesh as well. So we'll see how these hold up long term, obviously, but definitely the quality is there. Let's talk about the most important factor, sound quality. Now, the worst part about headphone reviews, and the reason I don't particularly like doing them too often, is because there's no physical way for me to let you guys know just how good or bad these sound. With that being said, I can give you my overall opinion on what I thought of them. So I tried a number of different songs, once with high bass, once with lots of vocals, different pitches, once with a lot of treble going on, just to see what the overall experience was like. And I'll tell you right off the bat, these are definitely one of the better sounding headphones in the market. So they definitely compete with the Sony XM4s, and they're better at that price point. And in some areas, I'd say they're marginally better. Now, I know I've seen some other reviews, and I think there's a little bit of hype of just how good these sound. They sound great, don't get me wrong. And I've even argued they sound slightly better than the XM4s, but it's not the most robust difference either. So for example, when you're listening to bass intensive songs, you'll notice that the bass is more clear. It's not necessarily any deeper than the XM4s, but it doesn't dominate the song too badly, in the sense that if you have high bass at full volume, you can still hear the rest of the song perfectly clear, while the bass seems like it's part of the music, not dominating it. Also, one thing I did absolutely love is just how clear the vocals sound with the AirPod Max. I mean, the voice is crystal clear no matter what volume level you're at. I think some of this has to do with the computational audio perspective that Apple has added to these as well. They introduced that with the HomePod Mini, and apparently the same technology is here. It's adjusting the frequency of the music consistently to make sure it sounds nice to your ears. Now, there's also spatial audio available on these headphones, and that's a pretty cool piece of technology, and it's very well done. Unfortunately, there's very limited material right now, or music or content, that actually supports true spatial audio. So unless you're watching a Apple TV original series or anything that natively supports it, you're not really gonna get that experience just yet, but it's good to know that the hardware capability is there. Finally, let's talk about the most interesting component that comes with your purchase of the AirPod Max. Actually, let me just show you. Whoops, I didn't mean to take these out. Okay. So all broad jokes aside, I think the smart case is definitely an interesting design choice by Apple. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't feel premium. I mean, the outer layer is made of this rubber-like material. It feels nice to the touch. The color matches perfectly with the AirPod Max sky blue look. I'm loving that. Also, the inner side of the actual case is made of soft cushion material, so it'll keep the AirPods nice and protected. And also, if you are worried, it's worth noting that all the vulnerable parts of the AirPod Max are actually protected with the smart case. So the most vulnerable part, in my opinion, is actually the aluminum itself, which is prone to scratches, I'm sure of it, and keeping the smart case will definitely protect those areas for sure. However, it still would have been nice to have a full-size case. It's worth noting that one of the smart features about this case is that apparently Apple says if you put them inside here, they go in this ultra low wattage state where they can stay on standby for a long time. How long, we'll have to test, but it's an interesting claim, and we'll see exactly what the implications of those are. Apple claims you get about 20 hours of battery life, which, believe it or not, is not that impressive. There are headphones that offer far superior battery life, so if you are doing a lot of traveling or you will have few charge points in between, then battery life is average. It's not bad. 20 hours is a pretty reasonable amount of battery life, but it's not the greatest either. Also, it is worth noting that since I haven't had these headphones for long enough, I can't vouch to just how reliable that 20-hour claim is just yet. Generally speaking, Apple does a pretty good job of being legitimate in their claims, so I don't have too many doubts about that claim. Here's the thing, guys. Since I haven't had this product long enough to play around with it to give you a comprehensive breakdown, I'm going to withhold my review for now. I'm going to play around with it, and I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks with a more comprehensive breakdown. I will say this much, so for first impressions, is this worth $550? Debatable. I would say most people will lean towards the no mark with justifiable reasons. Here's the thing. This is definitely a very premium product, but I think if you just look at it from the price tag compared to the XM4s are by far a better value. But if you look at it from a stance of a statement, a luxurious product, then the price range is justifiable to an extent. In terms of the sound quality, like I said, it's marginally better in my opinion, the XM4s. And some differences are more subtle than others, some are more noticeable. Overall, there is definitely a bump in quality, but definitely I think the material quality is where just Apple takes it away. This is by far the most premium feeling headphones I've seen of the mainstream options we have right now, and you will notice that right away. Also, the overall quality of live experience with using these headphones, especially if you are an iOS user, should be pretty noticeable right away. Connecting these headphones was a breeze. So I think if you're going to be buying these headphones, you're already in the Apple ecosystem, then yes, they're a viable option. Are they the best value? Most definitely not. Do they provide a good amount of quality? Absolutely. And whether or not it's worth the price point at that point is mostly a personal preference. That's just my 2 cents on it. I'll provide a more detailed breakdown where I can give a more comprehensive answer to you guys. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Soul of Tech, logging out.